This is not an ordinary hacker. This is the fingerprint of the person who killed my brother. Have you ever discovered that the nightmare you've been running from has been chasing you all along? Amani Lewis stands at the head of the frosted glass table, her voice steady even as her world crumbles. The boardroom smells like cold coffee and panic, bitter, stale, mixed with expensive perfume and nervous sweat. 12 anxious faces stare back at her, some looking away, unable to meet her eyes. Cold white light floods from overhead LEDs, turning everyone's skin pale, making the whole room feel like a hospital waiting room where you get bad news. Behind her, the presentation screen bleeds red, revenue charts plummeting like stones into water, quarterly reports showing holes that no accountant can explain, numbers that don't add up, money that simply vanished. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, Seoul's evening skyline glitters in shades of gold and blue, beautiful and completely indifferent to the crisis unfolding on the 43rd floor of this steel tower. Park Hyori's diamond rings click against the mahogany table, sharp, impatient taps that make Amani's jaw clench. The older woman has perfectly styled silver hair and a smile that never reaches her eyes. 24 hours, Ms. Lewis. That's all you have before the creditors move in. The banks won't extend again. Not after this. Amani touches the silver necklace at her collarbone, Elijah's necklace. A simple chain with a small compass pendant. The metal is warm against her skin, like he's still here, still guiding her. She turns back to the screen, fingers trembling slightly as she points to the breach pattern buried in the attack code. The signature, elegant, efficient, unmistakable. I've seen this pattern before. Her throat tightens. She swallows hard. 10 years ago, the night my brother died. The same coding signature, the same backdoor entry method, the same. Her voice cracks. She stops, breathes. Someone wants me to remember. The room goes completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Someone shifts in their chair, the leather squeaking obscenely loud. Another person clears their throat nervously. She closes her eyes for 3 seconds, forces herself to see it again. Elijah's face in the surveillance footage from that night. That last frame before the camera went dark, before everything went to static. His eyes looking directly at the lens, at her, wide with terror, yes, but also something else, determination. Like he was trying to burn his message into the camera, into history, into her memory, trying to warn her. Be careful, they're watching, they're always watching. When she opens her eyes, half the board members are staring at their phones, already calculating exit strategies, already abandoning ship. I will find the person who did this, Amani says, and her voice is steel now. To my company, to my brother, I will find them. Park Hyori stands abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor with a sound like nails on a chalkboard. She slams her palm on the table. The crack of skin on wood makes several people flinch. Find them with what money, dear? With what resources? Your accounts are frozen. Your credit lines are maxed. Your investors are pulling out. She smooths her pencil skirt with deliberate precision, every movement calculated. Either sell the company by tomorrow noon, or go bankrupt by tomorrow night. Those are your only options. I'm sorry, but that's reality. She doesn't sound sorry at all. The door clicks shut behind her. One by one, the others follow. A parade of expensive suits and disappointed faces. Within 3 minutes, the room is empty, except for Amani and the glowing red numbers on the screen behind her. Amani sinks into the leather chair at the head of the table. It sighs beneath her weight, the sound almost human. Through the window, city lights blur into ribbons of color. Gold bleeding into white, bleeding into red. She presses her palm flat against the frosted glass panel, separating her from the Seoul night. It's so cold it burns. The glass fogs around her hand, her own heat creating a temporary mark before it fades. Elijah, I'm so close. I can feel it. Someone is trying to tell me something. Someone who knows what happened to you. But who? And why now? Why, after 10 years of silence, would they reach out now? Her phone buzzes against the polished wood table, harsh and insistent. Unknown number. She stares at it for 5 full seconds before she picks it up. The message is short. I know who destroyed your company. I know who killed your brother. Sky Bar, 9 p.m. tonight. Come alone. This is not a trap. This is an answer. Her pulse hammers in her wrists, her neck behind her eyes. This could be a trap. This could be the person who killed Elijah, luring her out. This could be the end of everything. But it could also be the answer she's spent 10 years searching for. 10 years of cold cases and dead ends, and police detectives who stopped returning her calls. 10 years of waking up at 3 a.m. with her brother's name on her lips. She grabs her coat, black wool, simple, professional, and walks into the night. The elevator ride down 43 floors feels like falling. The Sky Bar wraps the 42nd floor in purple light and glass, all modern elegance and understated wealth. Seoul sprawls below like a circuit board, a network of lights and shadows stretching to the mountains in the distance. The bar smells like expensive liquor and jasmine. Flowers in tall vases on every table, their scent almost too sweet. Amani steps off the elevator at exactly 9 p.m. Her heels click against polished marble, each step echoing despite the low jazz playing from hidden speakers. She ordered water at the bar, not wine, not cocktails. She needs clarity tonight, needs to see everything clearly. The bartender, a young man with carefully styled hair, slides the glass across to her. Meeting someone? I hope so, she says quietly. He's already waiting. Han Jae-wook sits in the corner booth with the best view in the house. Floor-to-ceiling windows behind him, Seoul laid out like an offering. No bodyguards flanking him, no entourage drinking at nearby tables. Just a man in a perfectly tailored black suit with Seoul's skyline reflected in his dark eyes like he owns every light below. When he looks up at her approach, his expression is unreadable, not hostile, not welcoming, just watching, assessing. His face is all sharp angles and shadows, high cheekbones, strong jaw, eyes that miss nothing. Ms. Lewis! He doesn't stand, doesn't extend his hand. His voice is quiet, controlled, with just a hint of an accent, Korean inflection on certain vowels. Sit. She does, but only because her legs won't hold her much longer. She sets the water down carefully on the black lacquered table between them, making sure it doesn't tip. You said you know who's destroying my company. I do. He slides a black card across the table, heavy metal, not plastic. The embossed letters read Han River Holdings in both English and Korean characters. I can stop them, make the attacks cease, restore your accounts. 48 hours, your employees keep their jobs. Your brother's legacy survives. Nova Thera continues. Her fingers hover over the card, not quite touching it yet. It feels like if she takes it, she's crossing a line she can't uncross. What's the price? What do you want? His gaze meets hers, steady, intense, unflinching. 1 hour every night for 30 days. Heat floods her face. Her spine stiffens. You think I'm... No! His voice cuts sharp, final, like a blade through silk. No touching, no physical favors, no ambiguous conditions, no expectations beyond presence. He leans forward slightly, and she catches the scent of cedar and something darker, smoke maybe. Just presence. You sit in my space, I sit in yours. We exist together for 60 minutes each night. Companionship, conversation if you wish it, silence if you prefer, nothing more. The word hangs between them in the purple light. Companionship. It sounds almost innocent. Almost. She studies his face, looking for the lie, for the trap, for the predatory gleam she's learned to recognize in men who want something from her. But there's nothing. No smirk playing at the corners of his mouth. No hunger in his eyes. Just something that looks like loneliness, buried so deep, most people would miss it entirely. Why me? She asks quietly. Why this bizarre arrangement? Why not just, I don't know, hire a companion service if you're lonely? Why drag me into this? His jaw tightens. A muscle jumps near his ear. Silence stretches between them. 5 seconds, 10, 15. The jazz music swells and fades. Finally, because I'm tired of being alone with my ghosts, and I think... He pauses, chooses his words carefully. I think you understand what that feels like, to be surrounded by people but completely alone, to carry something so heavy you can't put it down, even for a moment. Something in his voice, the rawness of it, the truth of it, makes her think of empty apartments at 3 a.m., of mornings where getting out of bed feels like moving mountains, of her brother's empty chair at Thanksgiving, year after year after year. She takes the card. The metal is cool against her palm, heavier than it looks. If you hurt me, if this is some sick game, I won't. His gaze drops to her necklace. Just for a second, something flickers across his face. Recognition, grief, pain. Then it's gone, shuttered away behind that careful control. I give you my word, for whatever that's worth to you. Your word, she repeats. I don't even know who you are. You will. He stands then, buttoning his jacket with precise, controlled movements, each button sliding into place like a ritual. Meet me tomorrow, 86th floor, Hannam Tower, 9 p.m. The elevator code is 1021. If you change your mind, don't come. I won't chase you. I won't punish you. Your company will still survive. I'll see to that. Consider it a gift with no strings. But if you come... He pauses at the edge of the table. If you come ready to sit in silence with a stranger. That's all I ask. He walks away before she can respond, before she can ask how he knows her brother's case, before she can ask why his eyes looked so devastated when they touched her necklace, before she can ask anything at all. The black card sits in her palm, warming slowly to her body temperature. Behind the bar, a television plays evening news on mute. Amani glances up and catches a segment, footage of a modern building, police tape, men in suits being led away in handcuffs. The caption reads, Han River Organization continues cooperation with authorities. New leadership dismantling legacy operations of the late Han Myung-se. Amani's head snaps up, but the segment is already over, replaced by a commercial for coffee. Han Myung-se. The name means nothing to her. She's never heard it before. But something tells her she will, soon. She looks down at the card in her hand, turns it over. On the back, handwritten in clean, precise script. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is trust a stranger. She doesn't know if that's wisdom or a warning. The 86th floor penthouse smells like bergamot and silence and money. Amani steps off the private elevator at exactly 9 p.m. the next night. And for a moment, she just stands there, taking it in. The space is vast, easily 3,000 square feet of carefully curated emptiness. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame Seoul's glittering sprawl like a living painting. Light rain streaks the glass in silver threads, each drop catching the city lights as it falls. Wind howls somewhere beyond the thick windows, not loud enough to be frightening, just persistent enough to remind you it's there, waiting. The floor is pale wood, some kind of expensive bamboo that's warm even through her shoes. The furniture is minimal in that way that costs a fortune to achieve. A low charcoal gray sofa that probably costs more than her car. A steel and glass tea table that looks like modern sculpture. Bookshelves built into the wall and lined with books in multiple languages. She sees Korean, English, Japanese, what might be Mandarin, philosophy, history, poetry, technical manuals on cybersecurity and blockchain technology. Jae-wook stands by the window with his back to her, hands in his pockets, looking out at the rain and the city. He's changed, different suit, same color, black on black on black, like he's in mourning or trying to disappear. The contract is on the table, he says without turning around. His voice echoes slightly in the large space. She crosses the room, her footsteps echoing softly despite the warmth of the wood. The paper is crisp, expensive stock, probably linen weave, single page, clean white. 3 clauses written in both English and Korean in that same precise handwriting from the card. 1. Companionship, 1 hour daily, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Location alternating between parties' chosen spaces. 2. Exclusivity, no interference with personal or professional life outside designated hour. 3. Duration, 30 days from date of signing. Either party may terminate with 24-hour notice. That's it. No fine print in tiny letters at the bottom. No hidden clauses. No traps she can see. His signature is already there at the bottom, Han Jae-wook, in both Korean characters and English letters. Precise, controlled. The handwriting of someone who's very, very careful. She signs her name. The pen, expensive, heavy, probably Mont Blanc, scratches across the paper with a sound that feels final. He turns then, crosses to a small table near the kitchen. Yes, there's a kitchen, all stainless steel and marble that looks like it's never been used, where a white ceramic teapot sits steaming. He pours tea into 2 cups, the liquid pale green, almost glowing in the low light. The scent fills the air, jasmine but not overpowering, delicate, subtle. He sets 1 cup in front of her without a word, then sits across the low table from her. Not close enough to touch, not far enough to feel hostile, just present. They sit in silence. The rain taps against the glass like fingertips asking to be let in. Why 1 hour? She asks finally, wrapping her hands around the warm cup. Heat seeps into her palms, into her wrists. Why not more? Why not 2 hours, or 3, or I don't know? Why not just hire someone to live here if you're that lonely? He doesn't look at her. His eyes stay fixed on his own cup, on the pale green tea inside. because that's all I can stand. The honesty is unexpected, sharp, like someone handed her a blade and said, "Here, this is for you. Be careful, it cuts deep." All you can stand of what? Companionship, connection, being around another person. All I can stand before I start to hope. He says it so quietly, she almost doesn't hear. And hope is dangerous for people like me. She wants to ask what he means, people like me, but something in his expression stops her. He looks like a man, standing at a cliff's edge, looking down at rocks and waves and certain death, trying to decide if the fall would be worth it. She wraps her hands tighter around the cup, studies him over the rim as she takes a small sip. The tea is perfect, not too hot, steeped exactly right. Like, you didn't answer at the bar, why me? What makes me different from anyone else you could have chosen for this strange arrangement? His eyes flick to her necklace, just for a heartbeat. She sees something cross his face, grief, definitely grief, but also something that looks like guilt, deep, bone-crushing guilt. Then he blinks and it's gone, shuttered away. One day you will understand why I chose you. One day I hope you'll forgive me for it. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have right now, the only one I can give without destroying everything. He lifts his cup, takes a slow sip, sets it down with barely a sound. Yet be patient with me, please. They sit in silence again. The city hums below, distant and vast. Millions of people living their lives, fighting their own battles, carrying their own ghosts. She watches him over her cup. His jaw is tight, like he's clenching his teeth. His hands are steady as they hold the delicate cup, but his knuckles are scarred, old wounds, faded but unmistakable. Fighter's hands or survivor's hands, and there, just visible at the edge of his cuff, a long thin scar on his left wrist. It looks deliberate, precise, like the kind of wound that didn't happen by accident, like someone cut him on purpose, or like he cut himself. "Why are you staring at my necklace?" she asks quietly, direct, because she's tired of games. "The way you looked at it at the bar just now, you look at it like you've seen it before, like you recognize it." His lips part, close, open again. For a moment she thinks he'll tell her the truth. Then, "It reminds me of someone I couldn't save, someone who—" He stops, shakes his head. "Someone who trusted me, and I failed them." "How did they die?" "Violently." His voice is barely audible, rough around the edges. "And I've spent every day since trying to make it right, trying to be better, trying to." He laughs bitter and soft. "Trying to earn forgiveness from someone who can't give it anymore." The weight of his words settles over the room like fog, thick and heavy and hard to breathe through. She wants to ask more, wants to push, but something in his expression, the rawness of it, the barely controlled pain, stops her. He looks like a man who's holding himself together with threads that are fraying one by one, and if she pulls too hard, the whole thing will unravel. The rain grows heavier. The windows blur completely now, turning Seoul into watercolor, all bleeding lights and soft edges. He leans back against the sofa, eyes closing briefly. "You can leave any time. The elevator code is 10-21. It won't change. I won't trap you here." "Why tell me that?" "Because you should always know how to walk away." He opens his eyes, looks at her directly. His gaze is intense, burning, especially from someone like me, especially from someone dangerous. "Are you dangerous?" she asks, genuinely curious. "Yes." No hesitation. But not to you, never to you. She doesn't know what to make of that, doesn't know what to make of him, this man who bought her time and her company's survival for an hour of stillness each night, who looks at her necklace like it's breaking his heart, who sits in a penthouse that probably costs millions and looks completely, utterly alone. Who are you really? And why do I feel like I've been waiting my whole life to meet you? But she doesn't ask. Not tonight. Tonight is just the first hour, just the beginning. When the clock on the wall, minimal, expensive, silent, shows 10 p.m., she stands. He walks her to the elevator, hands still in his pockets, careful not to get too close. Same time tomorrow? He asks. Yes. My place or yours? Yours, she says. She's not ready to let him into her space yet. Not ready to let him see how she lives. Okay. He presses the elevator button for her. The doors slide open with barely a whisper. Thank you for coming, for trying. She steps inside. The doors start to close. At the last second, she reaches out, stops them. Jae-wook? He looks up, surprised she used his name. Why does it feel like you already know me? He's quiet for a long moment, then, so softly, she almost doesn't hear. Because I've been watching over you for a very long time, making sure you were safe, making sure no one hurt you. That's my burden to carry, my penance. The doors close before she can respond. The elevator descends in silence, floors ticking by in glowing numbers. Her reflection stares back at her from the polished steel walls. A black woman in a business suit, holding a silver necklace, looking confused and scared and strangely hopeful all at once. Behind her, 86 floors up, Jae-wook stands at the window with his forehead pressed against cold glass. His breath fogs the surface. He's trembling. Elijah's sister. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you knew what I've done, what my family has done, you'd never sit with me again. You'd run. You should run. But I'm too selfish to tell you the truth, too broken to let you go. His phone buzzes in his pocket. He pulls it out. A text from an unknown number. She's in the building. Your father's men are watching. Be careful. He deletes the message, crushes the phone in his hand until the screen cracks. He's been careful for 10 years, hasn't saved anyone yet. The hours become a rhythm, a ritual, a lifeline neither of them wants to name. Night 1 in the pattern, the penthouse again. She arrives at 9 sharp. She's always punctual, he notices, always exactly on time. She reads quarterly financial reports in the warm yellow light of the tea room while he sits at his desk answering emails in Korean, fingers quick over the mechanical keyboard. The clicks are oddly soothing, rhythmic. Neither speaks. The tea cools between them, jasmine scent fading slowly. Rain patters outside. It rains almost every night in Seoul this time of year. Night 3. Her turn to choose the space. He arrives at her apartment, small, neat, filled with her brother's things. Photos on every wall, his degrees framed, his favorite books on the shelves. Jae-wook sits on her second-hand sofa, looking enormous in the small space, dwarfed by all the memory and grief packed into these rooms. She makes instant coffee in her tiny kitchen. He drinks it without complaint, even though she can tell he hates it. He asks what she's reading. She tells him about biomedical patents, about gene therapy breakthroughs, about how they're this close to curing certain cancers. He listens with his whole attention, chin resting on his hand, eyes focused on her face, like she's the most interesting thing in the world. Night 5, the penthouse. She asks about his books. He tells her about Korean philosophy, about the concept of Han, a uniquely Korean emotion that means carrying sorrow and resentment and grief all at once, holding it in your body like a weight you can't put down. It's what I feel, he says quietly, every day, for 10 years now, Han. Night 7, her apartment. She falls asleep on her sofa, financial report sliding from her fingers. When she wakes an hour later, she jolted awake, disoriented, embarrassed. There's a cashmere blanket over her shoulders that she doesn't own, cream-colored and impossibly soft, and the lights are dimmed. He's sitting across the room in her armchair, reading one of Elijah's books, Principles of Cybersecurity, completely absorbed. When he sees she's awake, he just nods once and goes back to reading. Neither of them mentions it. The blanket stays at her apartment. Night 10, the penthouse. She arrives and finds dinner waiting, not a date. He's quick to clarify, just food. You need to eat, he says simply. I can hear your stomach from across the room. Korean food, simple and elegant. Kimchi jjigae, rice, banchan in small dishes. They eat in silence, but it's comfortable now. Less awkward, almost peaceful. Night 12, heavy rain hammering her windows. She asks why he doesn't have art on his walls, why everything is so bare. Art makes promises, he says, staring into his tea. Beauty promises joy, color promises life. I'm not allowed to have those things. Who says you're not allowed? I do. Night 15. He knows her rhythms now, knows she takes jasmine tea, steeped exactly 2 minutes, no sugar, no milk. Knows she fidgets with her necklace when she's thinking hard. Knows she bites her bottom lip when reading something frustrating. She knows his patterns, too. He takes his coffee black, fidgets with his watch when he's nervous, avoids looking in mirrors, stands at the window when he needs to think. The silence between them shifts with each passing night. No longer empty, no longer uncomfortable, full of presence, full of understanding, full of something neither of them is ready to name. Night 18. She arrives at the penthouse to find him standing at the window with his shoulders rigid, every muscle in his back tense. Even from across the room, she can feel it. Whatever's wrong today is worse than usual. Rough day? She asks, setting down her bag by the door. They all are. He doesn't turn. His voice is flat, carefully controlled. I just hide it better some nights. She crosses the room slowly, giving him space to tell her to stop. He doesn't. She joins him at the glass. Seoul stretches endless below, a sea of light and movement and life. Millions of people down there who have no idea. 2 broken people are standing 86 floors up, trying to figure out how to be human again. Why can't you sleep? She asks quietly, gently. Long silence. His reflection in the glass looks older than 32. Looks ancient, actually. Haunted. Because when I close my eyes, I see the people I couldn't save. I see their faces. I hear them screaming. I see blood on my hands, even after I've washed them 100 times. Her chest tightens. You tried to save them? Trying isn't enough. It never is. They're still dead, still gone. And I'm still here, and that's wrong. That's all wrong. She reaches out slowly, just her fingertips, light as breath on his arm. He flinches at the contact, but doesn't pull away. The muscle beneath his sleeve is tense, coiled tight. Surviving isn't wrong, she says softly. Carrying their memory, that's not weakness, that's love. His laugh is bitter, broken, scraped raw. You don't understand what I am, what I've done, what I come from. Then tell me. He finally turns to look at her. His eyes are wells, fathomless and dark and full of pain. So deep she can barely stand to look at it. I can't sleep without hearing your footsteps in the hall at 9 p.m. That's how far gone I am. I wait for those footsteps like they're oxygen, like they're the only thing keeping me alive. I'm pathetic. His voice cracks. I'm so far gone for you, I don't remember who I was before this. The honesty cuts through her, raw, vulnerable, true. She looks down at his wrist, the scar just visible beneath his cuff. How did you really get that scar? Don't lie this time, please. He pulls away slightly, jaw tight, crosses his arms over his chest like armor. It doesn't matter. It does to me. Why? His voice is sharp now, defensive, scared. Because I think you're carrying something too heavy, and I think it's destroying you from the inside out, and She stops, breathes. I care about you. I don't know when it happened, but I do. So please, tell me. He steps closer. The space between them crackles with electricity, with possibility, with danger. She can smell cedar and smoke and rain on him. If you knew what I really am, he says quietly, each word deliberate and careful. If you knew the things I've done, the blood I come from, the name I carry, what would you do? Would you run? Would you call the police? Would you hate me? Her heart pounds against her ribs so hard it hurts. I don't know yet. That's what terrifies me. His voice cracks completely. That you'll know everything, and you'll leave, and I'll be alone again, and I don't. He presses his palms to his eyes. I don't think I can survive being alone again. Not after this. Not after knowing what it feels like to have someone sit with me in the dark. The rain starts again, sudden and heavy. The glass trembles under the force of it. I'm a monster, Amani. His eyes are wet now, tears tracking down his cheeks. He doesn't wipe them away, doesn't hide them. I come from monsters. I've done monstrous things, and monsters don't get happy endings. They get forgotten, or killed, or they destroy everyone they love. But they never get saved. That's not how this works. She searches his face, sees past the careful control to the boy beneath, scared, bleeding, drowning, reaching for anything to hold on to. Maybe, she whispers, stepping closer, close enough that she can feel the heat of him. You just need someone who isn't afraid of the dark. Someone who's lived in it too. Someone who understands. He closes his eyes. When he opens them, tears track freely down his face. He doesn't wipe them away, doesn't apologize for them. Stay, he says. Not an order, not a demand, a plea, a prayer. Please, please stay. She stays. They sit on the sofa together, not touching, still maintaining that careful distance, but closer than before. Close enough that she can hear him breathing. Close enough that their sleeves almost touch. But as the night wears on and the hour stretches toward its end, she can't shake the feeling that he's confessing to something she doesn't yet understand. That her brother's death is somehow tangled in whatever Jae-wook is desperately trying to cut down or burn away or atone for. When she leaves at 10, she looks back. He's at the window again, hand pressed against glass, like he's trying to reach through to another world. Watching her go like it's the last time, like she's already decided to leave forever. On the 23rd night, Jae-wook gets an emergency call, business at the docks. He'll be back in 2 hours, maybe 3. His face is tense as he leaves. Stay if you want, he says at the elevator, or go home. The doors close. She's alone. Amani waits 15 minutes, then moves. She's been noticing things, which hallway he avoids, which door he never opens when she's present. She's been mapping the space in her mind during those silent hours. The door is unlocked, stupid, or a test. The room beyond is narrow, dim, a storage vault, or a study he doesn't use. A single yellow bulb flickers from the ceiling. Metal filing cabinets line the walls. A desk sits in the center, covered in folders, maps, photographs. Her hands shake as she opens the first drawer. Elijah's face, a surveillance photo, grainy, time-stamped 10 years ago, October 14th, 2015. Her brother in a black coat outside a warehouse, his eyes wide, scared. She pulls out more files, police reports, incident logs, crime scene photos, blurred but unmistakable. A burned folder stamped, classified Han Mayong-se. She flips through pages, hands trembling. Her brother's name appears again and again, crossed out in red ink. Margin notes in tight handwriting, witness eliminated, no survivors. Her vision blurs, tears drip onto pages, floor plans, a list of names, most crossed out. Bank transfer records with the Han family seal. Money laundering routes through Singapore, Hong Kong, Macau. At the bottom, a handwritten note on yellowed paper. Jae-wook, do not pursue this case. Father's orders, let it die. Signature, Han Myung-se. Her knees buckle. She grabs the desk, knuckles white. He knew. He's always known. But then, a second folder, thinner, hidden beneath the first. She opens it with trembling hands. Investigation notes, in Jae-wook's handwriting. Dates spanning 8 years. Witness interviews, security footage requests, forensic analysis. A map with Elijah's last location, circled in blue, not red. Photos of her from a distance, walking to work, leaving her apartment. Protected, not stalked. A single line at the bottom, underlined 3 times. Father is responsible, must gather proof before Amani discovers the truth, must protect her from retaliation. Her breath stops. He's been investigating his own father, protecting me, but it doesn't erase the other files, the photos, the evidence that Jae-wook's family killed Elijah. Elevator chimes in the distance, footsteps. She shoves files back with shaking hands, stumbles out, closes the door. Her heart hammers. When Jae-wook enters, she's on the sofa, hands folded, face a mask. You're still here? He sounds relieved. I thought you'd leave? She nods, can't speak. He pours tea. Jasmine, 2 minutes, sits across from her, studies her face. You look pale. I'm fine. You're trembling. I said I'm fine. He doesn't believe her, but he doesn't push. That's the rule. The hour passes in excruciating silence. When she stands to leave, he walks her to the elevator. Amani, his hand hovers near her arm. If something's wrong, nothing's wrong. The doors close before she can respond. In the lobby, she stops, leans against cold marble, and cries. He knew, and he said nothing. She pulls out her phone, opens photos she took of the files. Quick, shaky shots before she heard him coming. Evidence, finally, after 10 years, but evidence that will destroy the only person who's made her feel less alone. She doesn't go back for 3 days. Her company stabilizes. Jae-wook kept his word. The breach is sealed. Creditors retreat. Nova Thyra survives. Her employees are safe. Elijah's legacy lives on. But she feels hollow. On the 4th night, he calls. You broke the contract. Sue me. Amani, she hangs up. 20 minutes later, her buzzer rings. She ignores it. It rings again, 17 times. Her phone. I'm not leaving. I'll stand here all night. She throws open the door. He's standing in her hallway, soaked from rain. No umbrella, no coat. Just him in a black shirt, hair dripping. Leave. No. I said leave. I know you went into the files room. Her stomach drops. Everything goes cold. Then you know I saw everything. His face pales. You don't understand. I know your father killed my brother. She shoves him. I know you've been hiding it. You let me think I was losing my mind. You let me, she chokes. You let me fall for you. The words hang raw and true. His face crumbles. Amani, no. She shoves printed files into his chest. Your father killed Elijah. You knew. And you said nothing. He catches them. Doesn't look down. Just looks at her like she's light. And he's been living in darkness for years. If I told you, his voice is ragged, they would have killed you too. Who's they? Everyone, he's shouting now. My father's network, the soldiers who still follow his ghost, the men who think I'm weak for trying to dismantle everything he built, the ones who'd end you just to send me a message. He steps closer. I chose silence because I chose your life. That wasn't your choice to make. It was the only choice I could live with. They're standing in her doorway, rain pouring behind him, a chasm between them. I was falling in love with you, she whispers, past tense, like it's already over. I know, every night, every silence, all lies. No. He reaches for her, stops, lets his hand fall. That was the only truth I had left to give. She's sobbing now. I can't look at you, I can't do this. He nods slowly, his eyes are red. I understand. He turns to leave, stops. The rain is loud. For what it's worth. His voice breaks. I would die before I let anyone hurt you again. I have been dying every day for 10 years, and it's not enough. Then he's gone. Amani sinks to the floor. Her apartment is too quiet. The walls close in. She's lost everything again. Lost faith. Lost the only person who made her feel seen. And somewhere, Elijah's real killer is still walking free. She touches the silver necklace. I fell in love with the enemy. I failed you. Outside, the rain doesn't stop. She doesn't know Jae-wook is 3 blocks away, phone in hand, making calls, activating every resource he has. Because if she won't let him protect her in the light, he'll do it from the shadows. He always has. 2 days later, a text from an unknown number. You want the truth about your brother? Someone wants to meet you. Pier 19, midnight, come alone. She stares at the message. Every instinct screams trap. She goes anyway. The warehouse at Pier 19 is abandoned, gutted. The smell of salt and rust hangs thick. Her footsteps echo on cracked concrete. Water drips steadily somewhere. Drip, drip, drip. Ms. Lewis, a voice from shadows, smooth and cold. So good of you to come? A man steps into weak yellow light, middle-aged, expensive suit, despite the decay around them. She's seen his face in Jae-wook's files. Yoon Se-jin, Han Myung-se's former lieutenant. You sent the text. I did. He circles her slowly. 2 other men emerge from darkness. Large, armed, she's trapped. You've been asking dangerous questions, sleeping with dangerous men. Well, sitting with them anyway. His smile widens. Quite the arrangement. Her pulse hammers. What do you want? To finish what Han Myung-se started. He lights a cigarette, flame illuminating his face briefly. Your brother was a problem, smart kid, too smart. Found our money laundering operation. 50 million moving through Singapore shell companies every month. We couldn't have that. Amani's breath stops. You killed him. Han Myung-se gave the order. Yoon exhales smoke slowly. I pulled the trigger, clean, professional, nothing personal. White-hot rage floods her veins. She lunges, strong hands grab her arms, pin them. She struggles, screaming. Nothing personal? He was 23. He had a life. He had information that would have destroyed us. Business, Ms. Lewis. Yoon's voice is bored. Your brother knew the risks. Tears stream down her face. You're a monster. No, dear, I'm a businessman. Monsters don't plan this carefully. He gestures. The men tie her hands behind her back with zip ties. The plastic bites into her wrists. They shove her into a metal chair, bolted to the floor. And now you're a problem too, Yoon continues, pacing. You and Jae-wook both. That soft-hearted fool thinks he can dismantle the network, expose us, walk away clean. He laughs, sharp, mocking. The boy's an inspirational fool, thinks love and justice can erase blood, thinks he can be different from his father. Amani's chest tightens. Jae-wook didn't kill Elijah? Jae-wook. Yoon's smile widens. That guilt-ridden idiot spent 10 years trying to build a case against his own father, protecting you from the shadows, making sure none of us touched you. His eyes glitter. He's the reason you're still breathing. He threatened to burn the entire operation if anyone came near you. And that's exactly why he has to die too. The words slam into her. He protected me all this time. Why tell me this? Because Yoon crouches in front of her, smoke curling between them. You're going to call him, apologize, beg for help. And when he comes running, like the lovesick fool he is, we'll kill you both right here. Tidy ending. The boss who went soft and the girl he couldn't save. Motivational story for the next generation. Never choose love over power. One of the men hands her a phone, holding it to her ear. Call him or we start breaking fingers. Her hands shake. They dial, muscle memory. He answers immediately, voice tight with worry. Amani? I'm at Pier 19. Her voice breaks. They're going to kill me. I'm coming. Don't. Panic bleeds through his voice. Don't touch her. Yoon rips the phone away, ends the call, smiles. 12 minutes, maybe less if he speeds. Amani's mind races. 12 minutes, survive 12 minutes. Yoon stands, dusting off his knees. Underground gunfight between rival factions. Warehouse catches fire. 2 bodies never found. Perfect story. The mafia boss and his lover burned away like they never existed. He'll bring backup, Amani says, voice shaking but defiant. Oh, he will. Yoon's smile is terrifying. Because he loves you. And love makes men predictable, fatal. In the distance, a car engine roars. Yoon checks his watch. 8 minutes, faster than I thought. He gestures to his men. Light it up. They move to the corners where gas cans wait. The smell of gasoline floods the air. Amani's heart pounds. No, not like this, not him. Please, she begs, kill me, let him live. Yoon laughs. Now that's what I call romance. How touching. The warehouse door crashes open. Jae-wook stands silhouetted in the entrance, alone, no visible weapon. His coat billows in wind from the river. Let her go, Yoon laughs. You came unarmed? Stupid and sentimental. Your father would be ashamed. My father, Jae-wook says quietly, each word measured, is the reason I'm here, to end what he started, to burn it all down. He steps forward, slow, deliberate. His eyes find Amani's across the warehouse. Their gazes lock. He mouths, "I'm sorry. I love you." She shakes her head desperately. "Don't. Run. You think you can take all of us?" Yoon gestures to his men. 6 total now. Guns glint. "You're outnumbered, outgunned, alone." "I don't need numbers." Jae-wook's voice is calm, deadly calm. "I just need the truth." He pulls out a small recording device, presses play. Yoon's voice fills the warehouse. "Your brother was a problem. I pulled the trigger, clean, professional." Yoon's face goes white. "You recorded everything." Jae-wook's smile is sharp, cold. "And sent it to every law enforcement agency in Seoul 5 minutes ago. Police, prosecutors, media outlets. It's over, Yoon. You're done." Chaos erupts. One of Yoon's men lunges. Jae-wook sidesteps. Fast, efficient. A second man raises his gun. Jae-wook's hand flashes out, deflects the barrel. The shot goes wide, shattering a window. Glass rains down like diamonds. Yoon roars, "Light it! Light the warehouse now." Flames erupt in the corners, gasoline igniting with a whoosh. Fire races up walls, consuming old wood, licking at the ceiling. Smoke billows, thick and black. Temperature spikes. Yoon grabs Amani, knife at her throat. Nobody moves or she dies. Jae-wook freezes. His eyes lock on hers. She sees everything. Fear, rage, desperate love. "Let her go," Jae-wook says softly. "Your fight is with me." "My fight," Yoon hisses, blade pressing against her skin, "is with anyone who threatens what we built. Your father built an empire. And you," he spits, "you want to tear it down for a woman? For love? You're weak." Sirens wail in the distance, closer. Blue and red lights flash through broken windows. Yoon's hand shakes. "You ruined everything." "No." Amani's voice cuts through smoke and chaos, steady, strong. "You did. The moment you killed an innocent man. The moment you chose money over humanity, you ruined yourselves." She drives her elbow back, hard, into Yoon's ribs. He gasps, stumbles. The knife clatters across concrete. Jae-wook moves like lightning, tackles Yoon, pins him. His fist hovers, trembling, ready to strike. "Do it!" Yoon spits blood. "Do it! Become your father." Jae-wook's hand trembles. Amani sees the war in his eyes, the boy who grew up watching his father's brutality, the man trying to choose differently, trying to break the cycle. "No," Jae-wook lowers his fist slowly, deliberately. "I'm not him. I'll never be him." He stands, backing away, as police flood the warehouse. Shouts, orders, fire extinguishers hissing. Yoon is dragged away, screaming threats that are swallowed by smoke. Jae-wook runs to Amani, kneels. His hands shake as he cuts the zip ties with a knife from his boot. The plastic snaps. Blood rushes back into her hands. Painful, necessary. "Why did you come?" she gasps as he helps her stand. Her legs buckle. He catches her. "You could have died." "Because I chose you." His voice breaks. "I will always choose you." Firefighters rush in. Someone shouts to evacuate. The ceiling groans. They stumble out together, arms around each other, into cool night air. Emergency vehicles everywhere. Officers taking statements. Paramedics with blankets. They stand apart from it all, in shadow, breathing hard. Amani touches his face. His cheek is streaked with soot. "You saved me. I should have told you the truth years ago. You were protecting me. I failed you. I failed Elijah." "No." She's crying now, but her voice is firm. "You loved me. That's not failure. That's the bravest thing anyone's done for me." He pulls her close, forehead against hers. God, Amani, I'm so sorry. About everything. About your brother, about my father, about all of it. I know. Her hands fist in his shirt. I know. They stand holding each other as the fire burns behind them and sirens wail and the world keeps spinning. 2 weeks later, dawn breaks over the Han River, painting the sky pink and gold. Amani stands on the bridge, hands on cold railing. Wind tugs her hair, carrying the smell of water and the distant city waking. She hears footsteps behind her, knows them by heart. Jae-wook joins her, standing close enough that their shoulders touch. He's quieter these days, softer. The network is dismantled, 23 arrests, his father's empire reduced to evidence boxes. He testified against them all, chose truth over loyalty. I brought you something, he says quietly. He hands her a folder. Inside, Elijah's full case file. Cleared, closed, justice served, his name restored. No longer just a victim, a hero who exposed corruption at the cost of his own life. She touches the pages, tears blurring official stamps. Thank you. It's what he deserved. Jae-wook's voice is thick. What you deserved. She looks up at him, this man who bought her time and gave her truth, who walked through fire to stand in the light, who chose her over everything he'd ever known. What do we do now? He reaches into his pocket, pulls out the family ring, heavy gold, the family crest engraved. The ring his father wore, his grandfather, generations of blood. I spent my whole life carrying this weight. His hand trembles. Expected to wear it, to become it. I don't want it anymore. He holds it over the water. I want a life that's mine, clean, honest, small maybe, but mine. He turns to her. With you, if you'll have me. Amani takes his hand, the one holding the ring, and together they open his fingers. The ring falls, glinting gold in sunrise, disappearing into the Han River with a soft plop. Ripples spread, then fade. No more secrets? She asks. No more secrets? No more deals? Just this one. He pulls her close. I give you my time. You give me yours. No contracts, no conditions, no end date, just us, building something new. She kisses him, soft, slow, full of promise. When they pull apart, the sun is higher. The city hums with morning. I don't need a mafia boss, she whispers against his mouth. I need a man who chooses the light. Every day, even when it's hard. Then I choose light. His smile is real, unguarded. Every day, with you. They walk off the bridge, hand in hand. Behind them, the river flows on, washing away the past, carrying forward the future. In Amani's pocket, Elijah's necklace rests warm. You can rest now, brother. I found the truth. I found justice. And I found love. A text buzzes. Park Hyori. Board meeting Tuesday. They want to discuss expansion. Your company is thriving. She smiles. Elijah's legacy lives. Her company survives. And she has someone to share it with. Jae-wook glances at her phone. Good news? The best. She squeezes his hand. Life keeps happening. Especially after everything. He stops on the busy sidewalk. People flow around them. Move in with me. Not the penthouse. I'm selling it. Too many ghosts. But somewhere new. Somewhere we choose together. Her heart swells. Are you sure? I've never been more sure. His thumb traces circles on the back of her hand. I want mornings with you. I want to fight about what to have for dinner. I want to build something neither of us has had, a home. She rises on her toes, kisses him. Yes, to all of it. Nearby, a street vendor sells sweet pancakes, The smell of brown sugar drifts over. Jae-wook buys 2, hands her 1. They eat as they walk, shoulders bumping, fingers sticky. "One more thing," Jae-wook says. "I want to start a foundation in Elijah's name for cybersecurity education to help people like him, people who want to expose corruption, protect them, fund them, legal support." Amani stops walking, stares at him. "You're serious?" "Completely. Your brother died doing the right thing. Let's make sure his death meant something. Let's help others finish what he started." She can't speak. Emotions choke her. Grief, gratitude, love so profound it aches. "The Elijah Lewis Foundation," she finally whispers. "He'd like that. We'll build it together, your company's resources. I'm selling everything my father owned. Clean money after the courts are done." "It's perfect." She kisses his cheek. "You're perfect." "I'm really not." He laughs softly. "But I'm trying." They reach a small park, bare trees waiting for spring. They sit on a bench, his arm around her shoulders, her head on his chest, his heartbeat steady. "I used to think," she says quietly, "that finding Elijah's killer would make me whole again, that justice would fill the hole he left. And now I think the hole doesn't fill. It just becomes part of your shape, and you learn to live with it." She tilts her head to look at him. "And maybe you find people who fit against those edges, who don't try to fix you, just sit with you in it." His eyes are wet. "I'm still damaged, Amani." "Good." She smiles through tears. "Then we can be damaged together, and maybe that's its own kind of hole." He kisses the top of her head, breathes her in. They sit in silence as the city moves around them. In the distance, a child laughs. Amani smiles at the sound. "Maybe one day," Jae-wook says softly, following her gaze to a family walking past, parents and a little girl in a red coat. "We could, if you wanted, family." Her breath catches. "You want that?" "I want everything with you." He turns to face her fully, takes both her hands. "The hard parts, the scary parts, the beautiful parts." "Then let's have all of it." She squeezes his hands. "Let's build a life so different from where we came from that our past selves wouldn't recognize it. Let's choose joy, choose healing, choose each other every single day." "Every single day," he echoes, "starting now." They stand, walk out of the park hand in hand, into the November morning, into the rest of their lives. The romance between darkness and dawn, messy, hard-won, real. The kind that heals, the kind that lasts. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is choose to heal, to love despite the pain, to build despite the brokenness, to hope when everything says hope is foolish. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments what moment resonated most with you. And if you believe in second chances, in love that fights for the light, in the power of choosing each other every single day, no matter what, subscribe for more inspirational stories that remind us all we are stronger than our past and worthy of the future we build together. Thank you for sitting with Amani and Jae-wook through their journey from darkness to dawn. See you in the next one.